Some years ago, we did a training with a company and then had a dinner that night, and Terry Warner and his wife came, and the principals of this company we were training just wanted to meet him and talk with him, and had a great dinner and lots of questions. And after they left, I said, Terry, I have a question for you. I got really good at finding when I betrayed myself and I got in the box. I got really good at finding that and getting out of the box. But a bit ago, I realized I wasn't getting better. It was kind of in a static place. Yeah, I could find it, but I wasn't really doing less of it, still doing. And I said, I made this decision to stop trying to get out of the box. Instead, I just stayed there and I started watching. I looked carefully at people. I looked at how they tilted their head, whether their jaw was clenched, whether they were frowning, whether the conversation ended. Did they turn away? Did they snap back? What was going on there? And then I just stayed with that and just kept noticing what it's like to have to interact with me. At some point there, I would discover, oh, I'm not in that space anymore. I'm not seeing them as an object. They become a real person to me. I became alive and interested in them and their interiority, all of that. So I tell him all that, and he says, I have one word. I said, okay, now I'm curious, what's the word? He said, receive. Other humans, just their very existence is a call upon us. And all this is just a question of whether I'll receive it or not.
So I recently reread Bonds That Make Us Free. I want to get it laminated and carry it with me because I find myself wanting to reference it so much. What he says is, in the moment that you receive another's humanity, the dignity of both you and they is increased in equal measure. What do you receive when you receive others? It's not your intent, but you also receive yourself. A better understanding of who you are.
Dennis Rasmussen writes about how we become human by our interaction with others. And he talks about communication and partly why it's so difficult. He says, look, when an adult speaks to a child, the adult speaks to them and the child receives it. But simultaneously, the child is giving their attention and the adult's receiving that. So there's actually, he says there's four things happening. I think instead of it just being four things sort of sequentially, it's simultaneously. It's all happening at once. So the child both gives and receives while the adult is giving and receiving. But that's the nature of what it means to be human. For me, betrayal is this pushback on your humanity. It's a pushback on the reciprocity of that. I don't think you're giving me the right attention. You're not hearing me. I loved Thomas McConkie.
Yeah.
This line where he's doing all these very difficult dinners with his parents as he's just going to meet in that first step space of very uncomfortable space. He's driving home off the hill one night and he said that all starts to crumble, and he said from that moment forward I had put much less energy in trying to get them to see it my way. That to me was a profound line.